Good afternoon, everybody. This is Group 1 presentation, student of OUM, Malaysia, Master of Project Management. These students are comprised of semester 1 and semester 2. We would like to thank our lecturer, Mohammed Gele. The team comprises these 3 members, which are Faduma Abdullahi Malim, Abdul Fattah Mursal, and Salah Muhammad Ahmed. So I would like to welcome my sister Fatuma to present her part of the presentation. Welcome, Mrs. Fatuma.
Thank you, my colleague, brother Abdul. Let me start the introduction of our assignment or project proposal. The main reason for this assignment report is to gain knowledge about how projects are initiated, planned, and executed during its various phases of its lifespan. This group assignment comprises 3 members, how Mr. Abdul Fattah told already. A case example of previous implemented project in Somalia will be taken to review SBBI as a peace building project implemented in 6 years ago in Puntland and Somaliland states of Somalia in the period between 2013 and 2015, with the collaboration of all team members, assumptions including project managers, cost, time. Team will develop what is called a WBS and CBM and other tasks in details in the report. After the submission, the team will do presentation and video recording as we are doing now. Our project background is Somalia has witnessed 2 decades of civil war, of which the causes are deep and complex. The legacy of civil war and clan-based conflicts continue to have far-reaching consequences on the civilian population. Some states have emerged as a relatively stable after grassroots reconciliation took a great role by clan elders. Traditional clan elders have customary way of resolving violent disputes among the clan. This project aims at strengthening the local traditional structure for conflict resolution skills. There is an argument need to strengthen local peace building mechanisms to help resolve some of the existing underlying conflicts and preventing new ones region to build on the success within these regions as a stabilizing force within Somalia. In our literature review, we will look at the definition of what is project. According to the PM book or Project Management Board of Knowledge, data addition is defined like a temporary endeavor. A project is defined a temporary endeavor with a beginning and an end, and it must be used to create a unique product, service, or result. Project management is the art of managing all the aspects of a project from inception to closure. That means from starting and closing to the project. Using a scientific and strategic methodology. Management, the SBBI phase, like the initiative phase and second step, which is planning phase, which project managers do to plan what will they do in the project implementation. So the third phase is executing phase, which is to start what is planned to implement. And there is also during the implementation of the project, there is icon called monitoring and controlling phase. After monitoring and controlling, all projects used or are reached the closing phase, which is the term or the period project managers are prepared the reports and the conclusion phases of the project. In our project, we have a project charter. In a project management, project charter, project definition or project statement is a statement of scope, objectives, and achievements in a project. It provides preliminary delineation of roles and responsibilities. A project charter should contain the essence of the project, provide shared understanding of project, act as a contract between the project sponsor. The project charter is usually a short document that refers to more detailed documents such as a new open requests or requests for proposal. The scope of SBBI. In this session, I would like to welcome my brother, Engineer Salah, that he will continue from this side.
Thank you, Ms. Padma. You're welcome. My name is Salah. I'm one of the members of this group, Group 1. I would like to proceed and continue where she left. So now we're talking about the scope of the SBBI project. So the scope of the project, as she talks about the introduction, the scope is focusing on a project called SBBI, Somalia. It's called Somalia People Peace Initiative Project. It's focused on facilitating dialogue and reconciliation among Somalis from the local to the national level. And its objective is to reviving traditional conflict resolution mechanism, strengthening the peace building capacities of Somali religious and traditional leaders by forging the relevant links with the government, authorities, civil societies, and integral sustainable peace and stability. So actually, the project is based on detailed conflict assessment carried out in Puntland areas and Somaliland in July 2009 by FCA implementing partner. So as you can see, the next slide, it summarizes the project name. It's called SBBI Somalia People Peace Initiative Project. The period of this project was March 2013, March 2015. The assumption we took, the budget of this project was 1 million, and implementing areas in Somaliland and Puntland. In these locations, as you can see in the last slide, the application or the implementing partner is FCA, or it's called FinCharge 8. There was implementing partners called Haksor and Horn Afrique. So these are the basic summary of the scope of the project. Next slide. So as we go, the next slide is talk about the project cost management. So we try to make some definition about what's the project cost. Project cost management in a project management is the process of planning, estimating, budgeting, and controlling project costs. That's the basic definition, what's called project cost management. So as we talk about the next slide is like, what are the sources of the funds of SBBI projects? So SBBI projects funding was from DFID, FCA country office in Hargeisa, which will support implementing partners in financial management issues, managing FCA parts of finances. So as the total budget allocated of this project was 1 million. So actually we're doing this as a project analysis as a team. So as we continue, the funding will come from SSF and will finance 93%. Overall costs, the project budget will incorporate local staff costs, project activities, communication costs, FCA. So 93% is coming from the SSF, and the rest 7% will be community contribution as an in-kind. So next slide is talking about the WBS or the SPI. So what's WBS? The WBS of this project, we analyze as a team, as a group, and we come up with all activities of the projects. So we divided in 3 areas. What's called the SPI project. As you can see, the first line is SPI project activities. We divided in 3 areas: CR training workshops, CR training meeting, and CR reporting and documentation. So each one has a subdivision activities. As you can see, the first one is CR training workshops. The subdivision is TOTs training, training TLS and RLS training, youth training and women. So we did all this as a WBS standard. And the next key activity is the critical path method, SBBI projects. So in these projects, we collect the information about this table. We collect all the activities, duration, dependencies, and the duration each activity has. So, and then we develop what's called the next slide, the diagram, critical path method. So the critical path method is calculated based on the table previous slide. So each activity is connected to the other activities, A, F, and the rest, as you can see, until you reach the final activities R1. And then we develop the critical path of the projects. The critical path of the projects came to A, F, J, B, E, L, R1. So I think that's the main part of my presentation, and I will leave Mr. Abdel Fattah to continue from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Salah. Thank you, Salah. Thank you, Fatima. From my part of presentation, I will present from strategy. Every project has got its own unique strategy. How to develop strategy. Without effective strategic planning, it's difficult to achieve success in the project. The strategic planning focuses on business's future by understanding operational priorities and resource availability, setting out clear objectives for desired business results, and developing activity plan on how to achieve. Strategic planning, WHO is issuing the COVID-19 strategy preparedness and response for 2001. An accompanying document is as a package aimed at guiding the coordinated actions that we must take at national, regional, and global levels to overcome the ongoing challenges in the response to COVID-19, address inequities, and plot a course out of the pandemic. Over the past year, much has been achieved by national authorities and communities with the support of the WHO, donors, and partners, and unprecedented efforts by the scientific community and the private sector. Uncertainty. Whenever the project is blind, there is also uncertainty. According to BMB book version 7 edition, section 2.8.1, uncertainty, which is a state of uncertainty, is inherent for every project. For this reason, the effect of any activity cannot be predicted precisely, and a range of outcomes can occur. Potential outcomes that benefit the project objectives are known as opportunity. Potential outcomes that have a negative effects are also called threat. Together, the set of opportunity and threats comprise the set of project risks. Organizational structure. This project uses the kind of functional organizational structure. Functional organizational structure contains specialized units that report to a single authority, usually called top management. This is the diagram of functional management. Okay, we have also matrix organizational structure. It is a mixture of two kinds of structures. It is diagram is this. We have also prioritized organizational structure. It is diagram is like this. So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much, my colleagues, for your outstanding presentation, for your patience and time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abdullah. You are welcome for your meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you also, brother. Well done.
Thank you.